Good morning, friends. I'm doing the video today with a healing cat on my lap, Brittany the cat. Bestet's also in the room, and I'm doing the video from the Doctor Who phone booth, the one-person sauna, not very large, wider than my shoulders. I've got about 6 inches on either side, and the cat just left the room. So today I've been very focused on regulating my nerve system. So I agreed to help a friend by holding a space for her daughter-in-law who has been experiencing depression following the birth of her second child. And having participated in the raising of 7 different people, 7 different humans, there were times where it was kind of depressing. So anyway, I came into consciousness in the dream world this morning. I could tell I was working with this feeling of depression that I had agreed to help this woman work with. And so I was doing a lot of breath work, and then I went upstairs and pulled some cards for my wife and I related to, what we might find ourselves working with. And so she got the Prince of Discs, which is about the importance of exercise and keeping the body in good shape. I got the Eon card, which is Major Arcana 20, which is about knowing that things take time to work out. And that was a good reminder for me that this whole process that we're going through in the earth, a lot of the shifts and changes began in 1997 when the being Abrahamanad incarnated as the soul of the earth, and downloaded some information to me about how there's going to be a 28-year cycle of cleansing. We're going to go through physical cleansing from 97 to 2004, mental cleansing from 2004 to 2011. From 2011 to 2018, it was going to be emotional cleansing. 2018 to 2025 was going to be spiritual cleansing. You can make up what that means. But there has been quite a process of clearing the past from 97 to 2025, and it's continued. So like in any of those 28-year cycles, then the next level of clearing began in 2025. So 2025 to 2032 will be a restructuring of physical reality. So I would say, from my perspective, we're already seeing this taking place with the amazing amount of solar flares that are going on and the plasma that's being, brought into the earth realm, all the volcanic activity that's taking place on the planet, the earthquakes that are going on. So there's a lot of restructuring going on the planet. And this is the planet just restructuring itself for this new reality that we appear to be moving into. And it's a dramatic period of time because, in this 26,000 year cycle of our Earth propelling our sun, is in some perspectives what our Earth is a propeller, and it moves our sun through this galaxy, and our sun cycles around a central sun. In the Mayan calendar, it's called the Hunab Ku. And it's a half cycle is 13,000 years approximately, and then another half cycle is 13,000 years. So it's a 26,000 year cycle. So 13,000 years ago was when the Atlantean culture went underwater and disappeared, except for maybe the Azores Islands and a few other things there in the Atlantic Ocean. And then 26,000 years ago was when Lemuria went underwater. So it seems like these massive changes oftentimes have to do with going underwater, which water represents the emotional realm. And air more the realm of thought. So we're coming up on, we're in the period of time going into the next 13,000 years of this cycle, and this next 13,000 years is going to be a rise in feminine power on the planet. Sounds good to me. I feel like, being a being in a male body, that the last 13,000 years of patriarchal dominance has just really left us bereft as a soul group. But we are a soul group who is bringing light. So the more light we can bring in, the more we influence these positive changes that the Earth's going through. So just bring the light to the best of your ability. So I'm going to read what I wrote this morning as I was processing just the world and what was going on. And so this is what I wrote. So I pulled a couple of tarot cards for what we're working with in the world field. And in the world field, we got the Ten of Swords, which relates to the mind and the fear of ruin, of things not working out, either in relationship or in our physical world. So that would be something to let go of if it arises for you. This fear of things not working out. And later on, I'll talk about kind of what we can do to work with those energies. We also got the Five of Cups, which relates to the emotional realm, and it relates to emotional disappointment and the feeling of being breakable, fragile, and vulnerable. So some of us may be feeling, I'm noticing that feeling within myself is like the feeling of being fragile and I could break. And so other people have expressed to me that they're having that feeling of being fragile and breakable and vulnerable. So it can be quite difficult during times of massive world change to avoid feeling depressed or the sense that things are not going to work out. Because for one thing, that's the information that's being pumped through the talking heads on YouTube, is it's not going to work out. The whole thing's going to fail. And so if we take that perspective, then that fear of things not working out makes perfect sense. But if we realize we're here to assist this shift in consciousness and this shift in physicality, then we work with it from a different perspective. And that perspective, one of the ways to work with it we also got the major arcana card number 20, the Eon. And the eon relates to an indefinite period of time. So in some ways, even though these changes that are taking place are kind of on a cosmic schedule, it reminds us that it's important for us to make good judgments, to look at the whole and consider longevity, history, and a broader perspective while these changes are going on. And the main energy of the eon suggests that we focus on our discernment, our perspective, how we're looking at things, and make good judgments about what's going on, and then the best decision we can in terms of how we're going to work with these world changes. And the final card we got was the Prince of Discs. And this card is about taking care of the body and making sure to exercise while we are building new worlds. Just take that in. The importance of care of the body and getting exercise while we are building these new worlds. And then I'm going to move on to today in the Mayan calendar. And today is a blue self-existent monkey day. And the lunar tone of self-existence or existent is about form and structure. It's about creating new forms that consider the effect of our individual lives on the whole. And this has been spoken about, that it's really important to live our lives as if the future generations are important to us. So that's the lunar tone of self-existence. Really consider the effect of our individual lives on the whole. And then blue monkey is the solar tone, number 11, and it relates to playing, magic, and illusion. And there's a quote from Lynn Andrews that says, "What we create in the world, we must first create within ourselves." So it goes along with this lunar tone of self-existence, considering our effect in our life on the whole. And so what we create in the world, we must first create within ourselves. For there to be magic in our life, we must first believe in magic. We, you and I, are weaving a new reality. Spend time imagining the world we wish to create together. We are weaving a new reality, and it's best if we can do so consciously. Releasing and integrating the past provides the soil for the new world we are creating. That's the post that I wrote, and it's nice. This video is going to be under 15 minutes, which I've been working towards having them be a little more succinct, and so that feels more succinct. So remember, in terms of your breath, 4 or 5 counts inhale, 10 to 15 counts exhale. Whatever your body's capable of doing, that will calm your nervous system down. Regulating your nerve system helps to perceive the world very differently than when it's overstimulated. Okay, that's it. And I'm under 15 minutes, and I'm very proud of myself. And I am Steve still and going strong. And I just went over 15 minutes. See you later.